I can see her lying back in her satin dress, in a room where you do what you don't.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. So this is my pumpkin saison, and I'm calling it mashing pumpkins. This is a saison I did where I had 3 cans of pumpkins. It was, I guess, a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. A couple weeks ago. The sparge was a pain in the ass because all the pumpkin kind of gunked up in the mash. And if I ever do it again, I don't know. I really like the taste of it. Maybe I'll put a can or two in the mash and a couple of cans in the boil or something. I don't know. But I really love the way it came out. It's 8%. Oh, it smells. The combination of the saison and the allspice and the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and the pumpkin, you know, it works. It's very clean, very good. I had well, I'll talk about this in a minute. I went to a soccer festival with my daughter last weekend. It was a really cool. Soccer festival / tournament. So she and I drove down Friday, and sorry, this is gonna be a long story. Not too long, so don't tune out. It won't be that long. So she and I drove down last Friday to Richmond, and we got a hotel in the downtown area of Richmond. And a cool area was called the Fan, which is, you know, there's a lot of brew pubs and stuff around. So it was a really neat area. But we left on Friday because the game was going to be on Saturday. There was 2 games on Saturday, then there was 1 to 2 games on Sunday, depending on if they won their first game on Sunday. So we drove down on Friday evening. Like I worked from home and I left really early, and so we could get there, you know, around 4. We got checked into our room, and the intent was she wanted to go see It. I took my son to go see It. She wanted to go see It, so I said, all right, let's get down there early. We'll go see It. We'll be able to come back, have dinner at the brew pub right around it, there was a place called the Tap House, and I'll cut out right now to show you a picture of an amazing hamburger that I got there. So I went and saw the It, got the crap scared out of her. We come back, we hit the Tap House. We had I had good beers. She had a good pretzel and other stuff. And, when we went to our room, there was only one bed. And so, I said, hey, I thought we had 2 beds, this and that, and come to find out that there was a pull-out couch. So my daughter was happy with the pull-out couch. We made her a little fort bed, and she was all cool with that. I slept in the bed, and I gave her some life skills to order a blanket from the front desk. So I said, hey, I'm going to take a shower, get on the phone, call the front desk, tell them you need a blanket. I go in, go shower up, come back out. She's still sitting there looking at the phone like, I don't know how to dial the front desk. So helped her out with that. Life skills are important. So anyway, we went the next day. We had our first game we lost, and then there was a pumpkin patch right next to where we were playing soccer. So we went, we set up a lunch for Buffalo Wild Wings for all the parents and the kids. But first we stopped off to the pumpkin patch where I thought I was going to get some pumpkins that I was going to use for for another pumpkin ale, and so I'll cut away to that right here. So then we came back. We won our second game. It was an awesome game. And then her mom drove up on Saturday afternoon. She went to the hotel. I came back from the game, basically pulled up to the front of the hotel, dropped off my daughter, did a high five with my wife, and then I drove back up to DC area where we live and got ready for a brew day. And then I will cut away right now and show you some brew footage that I had of, I was going to do a Imperial Pumpkin Ale, or an Imperial Pumpkin Porter, but the pumpkins I got were the wrong kind, so I just decided to go with an Imperial Pumpkin Porter. I'm going to call it Atari Imperial Porter because the yeast I used was called Joystick. I thought, The only thing I know with joystick is Atari, you know, so I said we'll call it Atari Ale. So anyway, I'll cut away here, show you some footage from the brew day. Okay, so I'm doing a dark beer. I haven't done a dark beer in a long time, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to call it, I think, Atari Porter. And the reason I'm going to call it Atari Porter is because I'm using this really cool, I'm really getting into Imperial yeast, but I'm using Imperial yeast. It is, so there it is, and it is 200 billion. This particular one is called Joystick Ale. So I don't want to call it Joystick Porter or Chocolate Joystick. That probably wouldn't sound right. Atari. I think when I think of joysticks, I think of, you know, the old school Atari. And that'd be a pretty cool label that I can put on the bottle too. So this one has it's going to be an Imperial, so it's going to be about 9%. Well, maybe between 8.5% and 9%, depending on how much gravity I get out of here. I was going to do a pumpkin ale. Then I bought 3 pumpkins from a pumpkin patch, but then I realized that you need princess pumpkins, or the small pumpkins, to do a pumpkin ale. I don't feel like running out and grabbing another pumpkin and, you know, trying to roast it or toast it or whatever the hell you do to it. So this is just going to be a straight up Imperial Porter. And it's cool because I haven't done a porter in a long time. And the other thing that's cool is I'm using my dual riptide. You can hear how quiet it is. There's the pump for the mash tun, and there's the pump for the kettle. So I got the sparge going right now. Let's see what's going on in there. Nice dark ale. Yeah, I haven't done a dark one in a while, so this is pretty cool. And I've actually changed my method here a little bit. I'm using these clamps for the input and output of my Herms, because these riptides are a lot more powerful than the not a lot more, but they're a little bit more powerful than the chugger pumps that I had. And it was blowing the tube off the input, and I kept spraying hot water on the floor. This is past couple of brews, so the homebrew shop suggested that I just throw some clamps on there. So it sounded like a good idea. So now it's pretty much, you know, fire and forget, you know. So anyway, this one has Amaris Otter as the base grain. It's got a little bit of chocolate malt in it. It's got some Victory, some special roast, some caramel 120. That's because I want to sweeten it up a little bit. I'm going to put a pound of maple syrup in it towards the end of the boil, and then I'm going to put some cow nibs in the secondary on this thing. So it should be pretty luscious porter, and it's going to be about the right color, not quite black, but enough that you can kind of get a little bit of translucence in the bottom. So there's hopefully some deep ruby red. So anyway, excited to see what comes out on this one. So hey, cheers. Man, this is a good saison. So hopefully you saw the footage there for the brew day. It went very, very well. Yeah, no issues at all. I didn't have to worry about the football, you know, going on during my brew day, because the Redskins played that evening on Sunday Night Football, and oh my God, they crushed. I mean, they crushed the Oakland Raiders, and it was here in DC. Awesome game. Like I said, it was excellent brew day. I've got my system completely dialed in, hit all my targets. I mean, like within a point or two of gravity points. I mean, I was talking to Josh Hoover, basically saying, hey, I don't want to sound like an ass, but you know, I am like on top of my game right now. I mean, my system's dialed in. I got both of my riptide pumps going. I'm hitting all my target gravities. Everything is just freaking amazing. So the last thing I'll talk about is I got to go. So this is like brew week. So started out with the Sunday brew day, and then Monday I took the day off on, you know, this past Monday. I took vacation time for the day, and a good friend of mine who actually does yoga. I think it's Eat Yoga. I don't want to mess it up. Yoga something. Anyway, sorry, Aaron, if you're watching this. She does yoga as a yoga instruction at all these breweries here locally in the DC area. Very cool lady. She is on this distro list with a local brewery we have called Fairwinds Brewing. And actually Larmo 22's He and I went there when he came up to visit me not too long ago, and he really loved the Howling Gale IPA. But it was a canning day. They were canning a Kolsch. I think they were doing, what was it, 900 gallons of Kolsch. They're Wayside Kolsch, I think it's called. So I volunteered to go help can. You get paid in beer, which is cool. So I was doing a whole bunch of canning, so I'll cut away right now and show some video.
I did it, I live streamed it. I was having some fun.
Stacking this is kind of critical. Yeah.
I'll get some video of you do it. I'll get some video of you do it.
You say happy Homebrew Wednesday from the Dean's List.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday from the D's List.
Like even like Cabela's or Sports and Sky, they'll sell it. You know, ship to your house. I believe I'm trying to drive around town. Oh, here we go. And the steamer's not working.
Close there. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. You know, you saw there I talked to the guys doing the, you know, measuring the cell viability in the yeast and putting dye in the samples and all that, and then the canning machine. It's pretty high speed, but you know you got to weigh the cans to make sure you have at least 370 grams. And I don't know, something about that to me was very it was like meditation. You know, I was in a trance state as I was going through, you know, moving the cans through the scale. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. If you haven't went to a brewery before and volunteered and, you know, helped them can, you know, I really want to get back there and stir some mash. So I'm gonna talk to the owner. I met the owner too. He was a pretty cool guy. He used to be in the Coast Guard. You know, I would love to go down there and help them like mash in and do a brew day. That would be a lot of fun. But anyway, a lot of fun. I met a great bunch of people there. There was, you know, old guys, young guys, middle-aged guys, you know, all walks of life. Had a great time canning. So that was Monday. This Saturday, I'm going to be serving beer at the Cap City Brewery sponsored Oktoberfest, and that's going to be in Shirlington. So I've been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years. I've got a really good. We have a group called the Pint Pals, and we serve beer. So if you're in Shirlington, you're up this way on this Saturday, the 29th? I don't know. Look at the date. I think it's the 29th or something. Drop by and see us. I'll pour you a pint of beer as long as you have a ticket. If you don't have a ticket, no beer. I'm the beer Nazi. And what else? Then Sunday is our block party Oktoberfest, and I've got this keg of pumpkin saison. I've been trying not to drink too much of it, and then I have a keg of I call it Munich Helles. It's really more of a fest beer. I put a little bit of melanoid in it and made it kind of a fest beer, but we call it Marlin Fest. So I'll be serving that. The Marlin Fest is 6.7%, and this pumpkin saison mashing pumpkins is 8%. So anyway, as you can see, I got a lot of stuff going on, especially on the brewing front, and I don't see me slowing down anytime soon. I'm having a blast. Got some football games to come to soon. I got some tickets to go see the Redskins and the Cowboys, so I'll be at that game. It's another few weeks, and then I got some tickets to see the Giants and the Redskins on Thanksgiving Day, so that'll be fun. Anyway, hey, I hope life is treating you well. I hope your brewing is going awesome, and I hope you have yourself a happy homebrew and a very, very happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.